Okay, so thank you very much, Mr. Nguyen, for agreeing to speak with us today. How are you today?
I'm good, thank you.
So you came to see us first because you were experiencing some problems.
Yeah.
Would you be happy to just share with us, some of the problems that you were experiencing when you came to see us first?
Yeah, I came along initially because I had soreness on the underside of my feet, on the balls of my feet, which was identified as being seed corns, and those have been treated regularly, probably for about 3 years. But when I saw Peter and he gave a good look at my feet and assessed the condition of them, he felt that I would benefit from having gait analysis and biomechanical assessment to see whether there were things impacting on the way I walked and so on.
Okay. So normally when we speak to patients about gait analysis and biomechanics, some of them come skeptical, some of them say, oh, I'm not quite sure. How did you feel when we spoke to you about it first?
I found it quite easily to consider doing because I ski, and I'd had fitted insoles made for my skiing, which took into account the variations in my feet and to some extent allowed for my stance as well, although I didn't have a biomechanical analysis at that time, or that was offered. But the difference even just of those fitted footbeds for the skiing was significant. So the idea of looking at this a little bit more in more detail was easy to consider, yeah.
That's good. And would you say that having gone through the process of having a gait analysis and the biomechanics, and you do now have custom insoles?
Yes.
Yes. What's been the benefits to you?
Well, it's quite extraordinary, really, because one of the things that I suffered from previously and continue to do so is arthritis in my neck and shoulder in particular, my right shoulder in particular, although a little in my left and in my hands and feet and so on. But when I came with my sore feet, at that stage I was taking medication, painkillers regularly for my arthritis, and it was such that at night I couldn't sleep. If I turned over onto my right hand side, I immediately woke up because of the pain. So I couldn't sleep on my right hand side at all, and not for any significant length of time on my left, which is a bit of a swine because I'm not comfortable sleeping on my back, and it makes me snore, and then I get an elbow in the ribs. So amazingly, I mean, Peter warned me after I had the insoles initially fitted that I might get headaches and some pain and backache or whatever. In fact, it was transformational instantly. I didn't have any bad effects, but my arthritis has been transformed ever since. He did identify the fact that I had one leg longer than the other or shorter than the other, as well as some issues in the way I walked. So they were both compensated for, and I think that impacted right the way through my whole body, through my back. I used to get regular backaches, and those are gone unless I stress myself severely. And occasionally I used to get a hip problem as well, where there was just a bit of pain and sensitivity there, which was probably arthritic as well. And all of that has been, I wouldn't say totally eliminated, but utterly transformed.
That's fantastic. So it is true then, if your feet is not right, then the whole of your body will...
Seems so, and I mean, of course, that's true if you've got cold feet too, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, because it really does make a difference hearing, stories and how people's lives are transformed, because the one person listening to you will be able to make, that step of changing their lives for the good. So thank you so much.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you. What would be your advice to somebody who kind of puts off looking after their feet? What would be your one, big advice to them?
Well, I think if you've got sore feet, then the whole of you can be affected by that, but it's not a good thing to live with. You're dependent so much upon them day in and day out. So, if you feel that there's something needs looking at, then get it looked at, and have confidence and trust in the professionals. Certainly here at Circle Podiatry, I've found fully supported, a really clear explanation of what might be the issues, and an offer of the appropriate support without any pressure.
Excellent.
And so, seriously consider what might be said, because it could be transformational.
Excellent. We're going global now, so would you recommend us to, anybody at all, international or home, or would you recommend us?
Oh, absolutely. Yes. No, I've it's not something I've done. I'm now 64. It was only something I did after I was 60. Probably would have been significant throughout most of my life if I'd had it addressed earlier.
Well, thank you so much again for your time. Have a fantastic time away skiing, and it's our mission to keep you on a strong footing and leave you feeling like you're walking on air. So when you go off that, slope in the air, remember that Circle Podiatry keeping you on that strong footing. So thank you so much again.
That's a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank